Who here has failed before? Okay. Who here has failed more than once? Who here does not like failing? So you definitely want to hear what I have to say today. Let's play a little clip first.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
My goal here today is to help you understand and internalize the fact that failure is part of success. I want you to leave the setting today with the paradigm similar to that of Benjamin Franklin's when he said, I didn't fail the test, I just learned 100 ways to do it wrong. Sounds like a new idea and quite uncomfortable for some of you, but it's a true principle that if lived by, will change your life for the better, increase your happiness, and unleash the potential within you. I felt it in my life, and I'm so passionate about it. And I know that if you apply these principles, the same will happen to you. So I want to emphasize 3 main points today. First, get rid of your limiting beliefs. All of us here, without exception, have limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs that we impose upon yourselves and that keep us from progressing, keep us from evolving, keep us from developing and growing. Let me illustrate this principle with a story. About 3 months ago, the investment banking club in the Marriott School came up with a trip for us to visit Warren Buffett. They're going to take 27 students to visit and spend a day with Warren Buffett. If you don't know who Warren Buffett is, up until last year, he was the richest man in the world with a net worth of about $65 billion. He's a pretty brilliant man and outstanding investor. When I heard that, I was like, wow, that would be a dream to spend a day with Warren Buffett. But right when I thought that, other thoughts began to come into my mind, such as, I'm not old enough, I'm too young, I'm not smart enough, my resume doesn't look that good, I can't do it. There's some MBA students here a lot better than I am. So what did I do? I didn't even try. I didn't apply. 2 weeks went by. I was walking to the Marriott School and I saw my professor, Professor Kim Smith. He looked at me and he asked, Eduardo, have you applied to the Warren Buffett trip? And I said, no, Kim, I'm not qualified enough. I don't have the strengths. My resume is not that good. They won't accept me anyways. And he said, man, you got to try it. At least try it. It's a great opportunity. So I went home. The deadline was that night at midnight. I got home at 10:30, called my dad, and I said, Dad, there's this Warren Buffett trip going on, and my professor told me to apply. What do you think? And he said, a trip with who? I said, Warren Buffett. He said, with who? Warren Buffett. He said, for heaven's sake, you got to at least apply. So I got on my computer and applied, and a few weeks later, you see on the screen there, I got to spend a day with Warren Buffett. A fascinating experience, outstanding time that we had together. Great experience to learn from a great man. What did I take from that experience, though? What lesson did I learn? That I was afraid of failing, therefore I didn't even try. As Jack Lemmon put it, he said, failure seldom stops you. What stops you is the fear of failure. What lesson did I learn? I think it was best phrased by Anthony Robbins when he said, and if you're going to take anything from my talk today, take this home and think about it. The only thing that keeps you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself why you can't have it. The only thing that keeps you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. Second, there is no such thing as failure. If you learned a lesson and if you gave your all, that's it. You succeeded. Robert Kiyosaki put it this way. He said, sometimes we win, sometimes we learn. Think about that. When we win, we tend to party. When we lose, we tend to ponder. Isn't that true? That's a lesson. If you learn something, it's not a failure, it's success. It's usually in those times that are the hardest that we learn the greatest lesson. And those failures become not walls, but bridges to take us to success. Think of Walt Disney. Walt Disney was rejected by almost 300 banks and institutions before he got his first loan. Was that a succession of failures or a preparation for unique success of a company that today generates a revenue of almost $35 billion a year and makes people happy from all over the world? That's, to me, success, not failure. Third and finally, live out of imagination, not out of memory. Who's been dumped by a girl or guy here before? If you don't raise your hand, I'm calling you a liar. I'm going to raise both hands because I've been so many times. Think about when you're dumped by a girl or a guy. That's a painful event. You don't want to live it again. But so many times we go back to that event in our minds and hearts, and that keeps us from moving forward. Why? Because that is going to happen again. Right? Your past equals your future. That's the perfect formula for misery. Your past does not equal your future. Your biography does not equal your destiny. A failure from the past is not supposed to be a wall blocking you. It's supposed to be a bridge leading you to success. So if you take these three principles home with you, think about them and apply them into your life. And I promise you that your life will never be the same. I felt it, I've experienced it firsthand, and I know it's true. Next time you face failure, challenge, obstacle, or anything which the world calls upon as failure, remember the words of the best basketball player of all times. I failed over and over and over in my life, and that's why I succeeded. Thank you.